And then you'll be able to see how we do it, and then you can tell us what we did wrong. So what are the ways that we have predator-proofed our chicken coop and run? Thanks for asking. We have an automatic pirate detector to fire the cannons from the roof. Always a fun day here on the homestead. Okay, hello, my name is Crystal and welcome to our channel. I'm going to be talking about how we predator-proofed our chicken coop and run. So we have a decent amount of predators on our property. We have trail cameras set up in our woods so that we have an idea of what's in the area. Recently we saw the tail end of a bobcat. We've seen fox, coyotes, raccoons, the dreaded squirrel. What else have we seen, Steve? We know that there was a bear on the property last year because it got into our compost and then left a lovely present for Steve near his woodpile. As far as the aerial predators, we have owls, and hawks. We have a family of hawks that lives over there somewhere, so I hear them all the time during the day. But the only thing that we have seen that has been on the ground coming up to the chicken coop area was to get into the food that we keep in the metal trash cans, and that was a possum. We've also seen a hawk. We noticed it because a squirrel was panicking, trying to get into our chicken run unsuccessfully because there was a hawk right above it. But that was it. Nothing else we have really noticed trying to get in, which has been good. Now it's only been a month and a half, like I said, so I'm sure as the year goes on, we'll be noticing more things, but so far, so good. So what are the ways that we have predator-proofed our chicken coop and run? Thanks for asking. The first thing is around the coop and run on the ground, we laid landscape fabric. And then on top of the landscape fabric, we put hardware cloth. And then I bent it up so that it would meet the outside of the run. I'm gonna cut the hardware cloth the entire length of this side of the run. And then once it's cut, I'm gonna bend it up all the way down so that it fits snugly against the chicken run. And then I used the double-sided nails to attach it to the run. I used landscape staples to keep it down to the ground. And above that, I just put some mulch, just for aesthetic purposes mostly. I mean, I don't really want to look at hardware cloth on the ground around the run, so the mulch makes it look a little bit nicer. We did that all the way around the coop and the run, except for this front part here where we go into the run. We're not sure how we want to predator proof that quite yet. I might end up going around it again with the hardware cloth. The thing is that the kids like to come over here and visit the chickens and feed them, and I couldn't figure out a safe way to get the hardware cloth around the door part, so I need to figure that out. And once I do, or come up with a different way just to prevent things from digging and going underneath the run. The chicken run also goes underneath the coop, so we made sure that we did the hardware cloth around there too. As far as constructing our chicken run, we have used non-climbing horse fence all the way around the chicken run, around the walls, and as well as the top part I put non-climbing horse fence. And what I did to attach it to one another is I just took wire and I weaved it through. So this is the wire that comes with the hardware cloth, and it's perfect for weaving in between the two fencing panels to tie them together, so I'm going to save it and use it around the run. As far as attaching the run roof to the chicken coop, I used the double-sided nails and I attached it directly to the outer wall of the chicken coop. I also used the wire to pretty much sew together all the pieces so that it was one great big piece and that they're not going to be able to separate or come apart. The windows on our chicken coop are pretty well made. We got them on Amazon. They were about $25 a piece, if I remember correctly, and they have their own locks on them, and it's not really that easy to open. I don't see anything in the near future really being able to get up there to try and open the windows, so for now we're just going to leave them as they are. We'll see how it goes. As far as locking up the doors into the coop and the run, we have been using a carabiner clip that we got at Home Depot, and we just weave it through the little latches and then we just turn them so that nothing can really easily be able to open them. Rule of thumb that we have heard over and over again is that if a 2 or 3 year old can figure out how to undo the lock, then a raccoon or animal will easily be able to figure it out. So we try and keep it just enough complicated that an animal won't be able to open it. As far as keeping our food and snacks and things out here for the chickens, we tried to keep it easy for ourselves, but also we don't want to attract predators to the coop. So we keep them in those galvanized metal trash cans. So far that seems to be working really good. Unfortunately, one of the ones that I got, the lid doesn't really fit it right, so we had to use a tie down to keep it tight to the trash can, and that's just where we keep all of the chicken snacks and their scratch grains and their chicken grit and all the things that they use we keep in that tub, and then the smaller one we keep their food, which is just their chicken feed crumbles. So we keep the doors all locked up when we aren't going in and out of the run and stuff. And then they have their electric door that's automatic inside there. It goes from the coop to the run, and that's on a timer, and it automatically goes up and down to let the chickens out in the morning, and once they're in at night it's on a timer to come down, and it's got some locks on the outside. So it's really not that easy for anything to really be able to open. Any predator would actually have to get into the run first and then figure out how to open that automatic door into the coop if it were to get in that way. We also try and keep really good lighting around the coop area. I have a couple more automatic lights I'm going to be installing around. I'm going to have one underneath where the food is, and then we have one more that I'm not 100% sure where I want to put it. I think I might put it near their automatic door. And then I am planning on buying some more of those dollar solar lights, the ones that I put in the garden. I'm going to be putting some of those around the coop and the run. We also had a leftover solar floodlight that is motion sensitive. That's how we knew that there was a possum around the chicken coop and run, because it went off. We have it facing the woods behind us so that if anything goes in that path that's back there, it will set off the floodlight, which we will see from the house, and that's one way that we will know that there's a predator around the chicken coop and run, and we might need to take care of it ourselves. Another solar light that we got is a pendant light or inside the chicken coop, and it comes with a remote that we can control from the house. We can also have it on a timer, so when it gets dark out, the light can go on, and we can have it set for 2 hours or 8 hours, however long we want, and the light will automatically go off. So that'll be good for winter time. A couple of the other things we have added to our chicken coop and run, not necessarily predator, but it could be, is our Wi-Fi cameras. We have 2. We have one in the chicken coop and one in the chicken run. We can check on the chickens and make sure that they are okay, and if there does happen to be a predator, especially at nighttime, the Wi-Fi camera in the chicken run has a motion detector, so that if there's significant movement, it will alert me on my phone. I'll be able to check and make sure that nothing is trying to get into the run. So that's pretty neat. The last thing that we're going to have to predator proof is right here, the exterior nesting boxes on the chicken coop. We have to actually make that a door in the front. We haven't done that yet because the chickens aren't laying eggs yet, so we haven't had to worry about it. But when we do make it, we are going to have to figure out how to make that predator proof, because the door is going to open down and we want to make sure that it's latched up well. I mean, we can use the carabiners, which we probably will. I maybe want to come up with something a little bit more complicated, because that would for sure be an easy way for predators wanting to get into the coop. So we want to make sure that whatever we build is going to be predator proof as well. We would love nothing more than to allow our chickens to free range on the property, but there are just too many predators and we can't trust that something won't fly off with one of our chickens. So we are going to be building a chicken tractor that will allow us to move the chickens around the property, and they can enjoy all the bugs that we have and get them outside of the run and moving around in different spots. So that video of us building a chicken tractor will be coming up soon. Hey, you know what you could do? You could hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button so you get reminded of when we post a video of us building a chicken tractor. And then you'll be able to see how we do it, and then you can tell us what we did wrong. You know, one of the things I do have to say, I thought predator proofing our chicken run was going to be a bigger pain than it actually was. Putting up the non-climbing horse fence on the roof of the run, that was kind of a pain. But as far as laying down the landscape fabric first to prevent weeds, and then the hardwood cloth on top of that, and then the mulch on top of that, it really wasn't that hard. The hardest part was in the back part of our run where it just dips off, and I used a 3 feet wide hardware cloth to give myself some more room to bend it up and attach it to the run. That was a little bit more time consuming than everywhere else, but for the most part it was really easy to do, and I'm really glad that we did it, and I feel good about it. I don't see anything being able to dig unless they start digging 2 or 3 feet on the outside of the run and tunnel their way under, and even then they are gonna encounter some serious rocks, because I did when I was building our chicken run. Hey, well that'll do it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot. And subscribe. We would love to have you. Plus we have more chicken videos coming up, like adding the door to our exterior nesting boxes, and building a chicken tractor, which I'm super excited about, and adding a swing for the chickens inside their run. That's gonna be a good one. But we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.